Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the WASD and Beyond podcast. As always, I'm your host, Nick. Accompanying me is Evan.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Well, we did it. We finally hit that milestone that we realistically shouldn't have hit. We hit episode 100, and that is this episode. And I am stoked. Thank you all very much for continuing to listen to us.
Yeah.
Bullshit our way through doing a podcast the best ways we know how. Before we get
I
too
don't know if
deep
they're
into it, huh?
I don't know if they're the best. I think they're the tools available to us.
Well,
Um,
it is what it is, right?
yeah.
Before
But
we
I
get
mean,
too deep into the episode, I want to do a huge shout out to our sponsors, Final Boss and Doc Longy. Um,
yes. Thank you so much.
fuck. Speaking of 100 episodes, I mean, it was almost 30 episodes ago when we got sponsored by, if not more, sponsored by Final Boss on our episode. Eric was like, "Hey, by the way, you're sponsored now." And it was like, "Oh, that's one of those like random weird things that happened on the show. Like the show is so spontaneous at all times when we have guests on. But we'll get into that
Yeah.
more in a minute. So yeah, Doc Longy and Final Boss. Big shout out to the entire Spawn Camp community. If you guys haven't yet, please hop into that Discord. We're doing a Q&A right now for our 100th episode stream. So this is going to be a shorter episode where we're not really going to focus on video games. We're more so going to talk about the show itself, uh,
Our favorite episodes,
our favorite
like that we've had
episodes.
to do,
Yeah.
or the people that we've like enjoyed interviewing or not enjoyed. I mean, we've enjoyed everybody.
Yeah.
Like that I think I've been here for most of the interviews, if not all of them. Um, no, I missed a couple actually. I missed a couple,
David,
but
Linko,
yeah,
AOB, yeah,
yeah, I wasn't there for those, but like
Eric and Chloe.
e- everybody that I wasn't there for that one. Did we did that one?
We did that one, yeah. That's Eric and Chloe. We interviewed them, and then Eric was like, "Hey, you're sponsored now."
This guy doesn't. You didn't invite me to that one. You told me.
I think
You
you had
told me like
just joined the podcast at that point in time.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, huh?
You said 30 episodes ago is when they
Way more than
sponsored
30
us.
episodes then. I don't know, bro.
Now he's backtracking. You see what I deal with, folks?
Oh my
You
fucking
see what I
god.
deal with? I deal with this.
But
Come on,
what
man.
Evan's trying to say is, we're not going to go into like that much about video games this episode. We're just going to talk a little bit
Yeah,
about the show and like things that we're
what we've
stoked
enjoyed.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The people we've met along this journey, the hero's journey.
been a lot of people we met, but yeah,
I don't
guys.
know if I'd call us heroes,
No, we're not heroes. We're definitely fucking anti-heroes. Hop into the
if
server
that.
though. The spawn camp server is popping at all times. There's a lot of gunpla people. I mean, it is, but
It is. I
they're
say if
all
we could have a
gaming.
metric, it would probably be a pie chart of 97% is
Yeah,
people
but
from Build Bros.
everyone's mixing in together so perfectly though. Like everyone's gaming. Like there's been a lot of Hell Let Loose. There's been a lot of Pico Park, which we'll be playing tomorrow on Saturday. Tomorrow, this episode comes out Friday. So we're playing Pico
Yeah.
Park on Saturday. We'll be playing a lot of games Saturday. I'm sure Evan will talk me into playing Hell Let Loose, and I'll get really fucking mad on stream. That'll be something.
Dude, this guy
But
can't understand anything.
the community is very welcoming. Everyone's so cool. Just hop in,
Yeah.
have a good time. It's free. Make friends, play video games, watch movies, watch TV together, anime. It doesn't matter. Talk. Just
Read
hop
the
into the
rules,
spawn camp. Yeah, read the rules, please. We don't want to have to boot anyone else.
please. Yeah, else.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone else? So yeah, it's hop in
Yeah.
there, and while you're at it, check out the Diggity podcast and the Build Bros. The Build Bros actually at this point, since it's not going to be news to anybody by the time this episode comes out,
Yeah.
lost two members. Unfortunately, Nick and Claudian
Yeah, they
decided
left.
it wasn't really their thing anymore, or wasn't time for them to be on the Build Bros. It happens. Uh, best of luck to both of them and whatever they decide to do, whether it be podcasting or not. Just in life in general, right? Like, I hope you guys do good. You guys deserve it. But with that being said, what? I mean, I do. I hope.
I had a funny joke, not related to them. I'm in the same boat. I wish the best for them, but I did have a funny joke. I was gonna say something like, "Yeah, because we know Nick how that feels like to have to to lose a member."
Oh man, Matt, you're lazy. You're lazy. We
Yeah,
love you,
Matt,
but
you suck.
you're lazy. But we do love you. I mean, we wouldn't. The show wouldn't be. Let's before we go into that again. So Build Bros is a full cast again, though. I'm not. I
Yes.
am not gonna say here who's on the show because I don't think that
Yeah.
will be announced Thursday. But
Yeah.
I know one of the dudes on the show, and you know one of the dudes on the show,
I do.
and that dude
Sadly, I hate him.
is motherfucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Can you do
Uh-huh.
a better one? Can you do a better one?
When he says it, like when I'm in Discord on my phone or whatever, I always hear it as motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
Like it's not even a C and a K. It's like a G,
Oh, dude.
kind of.
If you know, you know.
Like,
If you know, you
yeah,
know. So
I hate you.
big props.
You know who you are.
Oh yeah, there's a war between you and him right now.
Yes.
There's a fucking war between him and
I don't
the
know
new
what
host.
started it. He just pisses me off. Like I just have this every time I see his
Because
face,
you
I
guys
just
love
get
each
mad.
other. You guys have so much love for
No.
each. Yeah, oh yeah, you do.
Oh
Yeah, you do.
no.
Oh
I
yeah.
want him to leave my life forever.
Oh my
I don't want him to
fucking
be anywhere near me.
god.
But yeah,
But yeah, so check out Build Bros and the newly formed Build Bros at this point. Alex and Copley are still there. Two new
the
members.
new Avengers.
Yes. And check out Diggity Podcast. All right. Let's just jump right into it. Again, this is going to be a very straightforward episode. It's probably going to be pretty short so we can get ready for Friday's or Saturday's stream. I'll be streaming pretty much all day and day drinking. I have the house to myself, which is
Good that you
dangerous.
announced that on air.
Yeah, please don't come and rob me.
Oh boy. Oops.
I'll be too drunk to stop you. No, don't do that.
Oh yeah. This guy. Look at
But
him.
yeah,
He's pre-gaming right now.
I am
He's getting
pregame for
ready.
Saturday right now. But it's
He's
been
getting
pretty
ready to
cool,
go.
man. Like WASD started with Matt and I, and it was just in my backyard, and I was like, hey, let's finally do that thing we've been talking about for like 1,000 years. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then we tried recording in
1,000
Matt's
years.
basement like fucking 5 times, dude. Like
His house? Like
yeah,
now?
like at his parents' house. We tried recording there first,
Oh.
and
They
basically
have a nice basement.
it's a nice basement, but like the setup was on
It
like
didn't really.
no, it was on like a fold out table, right? And with a laptop in
Oh.
the center, and we would try to set up two mics, and we got it to eventually work, but we were too close, and there was no way
Yeah, you
around
have to
it.
be.
And they
So
were shit mics.
were you guys like vertical from each other or like were you just on
Vertical.
like yeah, okay, so you're trying to be as far away as you could already and it just
Yeah.
wasn't.
It just
Yeah,
wasn't working
that's
right. And then we found Audacity and we found Zencaster. And we were like, okay, so we can do this from home, which ended up being perfect anyways, because not long after COVID hit.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
that's
we
true.
had to do it anyways like this, but we found the way to do it. So yeah, I mean
When did
that's
you guys start? Because I wasn't here.
I think like
I wasn't even born.
like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
It was before it had to have
It was a
been.
little bit before COVID. It hasn't been 3 years on the show yet. No way.
I think it was when we still had some individuals that we hung out with.
Jake and Shane were around,
So
yeah.
so that would have been before February. So that had to have been you guys had to have started around like October or November of 2019.
Right. So
Like
3 years.
late, yeah, late back then because I know the last time, no, sorry, not the last time. The first time I came on was like October 2020.
Was it?
You wanted to do a Last of Us episode, so find whenever that
Yeah.
date is.
I'm going through the back catalog right now.
Yeah, because I wasn't there for the beginning. I
November
only joined.
19th is the first intro episode. Or the November
There you go.
2019 was the intro episode of WASD.
Yeah, so I was right on the money there.
So
Yeah,
you came in on,
nearly a year later.
so if I'm looking correctly, came in for the Last of Us episode,
Yep,
which was one of our, at that time, one of our highest
biggest.
Switchblades and Revenge is the episode you hopped on, episode 24.
Yes.
So you hopped in 2020. So you've been on the show for 2 years.
Oh
So
God,
right, right.
I'm old. I
But
was in
it
school.
doesn't seem like that though, does it? Like,
No, it doesn't,
really,
which is what really bothers me.
like time is just
It
kind of
doesn't feel like 2
flying.
years.
But it's been cool though, man. Like we've done a lot of cool shit on the show. Like we've talked about a lot of shit, and we've kept it. I think the thing that I've been enjoying most about this, we're like with OBO. Like I love doing OBO, and I'm excited to
Yeah.
bring it back. But there's a lot
Yes.
of OBO where it's like, and I'll be candid right now. And I mean, whatever. Like it's our show. OBO and WASD is our show. It's Diggity's show as well, and soon to be Build Bros show. But like with OBO, The problem is I there was that pressure to constantly be funny. Also, whatever you're doing on your camera, buddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry,
No,
I
you
keep opening up.
no,
I keep
I
forgetting that
looked.
Chrome cannot be opened.
I looked and I was like,
It
my brain
just
was like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh."
it never wants to let me have anything like bright on the
No,
stuff
you're
monitor.
good.
I always forget.
But with that show, like I said,
Yeah,
with OBO, like I felt like a pressure to be the haha guy at all times, which it starts to wear on you, man. Like it does. Like I'm always trying to dig in my mental briefcase of like funny stories to like make people laugh and
yeah,
like make
funny.
people go, "There's no way that happened." When in reality, like if you know me and you've met me, you know that I'm not lying. And it's like one of those like with WASD, I don't have to do that. Like
No,
WASD,
you
you and
don't
I,
really.
yeah, we just hop
You have
on and we talk.
stories.
Yeah, but
We
like
have we have, but we also have stories that are recent too. Like you don't have anything to pull. You have things to pull from your childhood, but like we have a lot of stories that just happen naturally every week that
right
are just
between you and I,
funny moments that we've had, or like gaming and whatnot. Like I mean, geez, Copley's like greatest line ever, like will be
bottom left,
bottom
baby.
fucking left. Yeah, like
Yep.
that'll be. I'll put that next to like his gravestone.
If they
Put
etch
like
on
a
Copley's
crappy sign.
gravestone, if they don't etch Community Boy, first off,
That's true.
if they don't put Community Boy, here lies Community Boy, quotations, bottom fucking left, then I'm
I
destroying the
did.
headstone, and we're putting a
I'm
new one
putting in
down.
my own. Yeah, we're putting a new one in.
Like that,
Yeah, no.
like this show is definitely more natural for me. Like OBO is, it is because I try to make everyone laugh the best I can. You do as well, and like but like the thing is, like with you and Jeff, you guys are able to come in and go, "You're a
Oh.
fucking idiot. What are you talking about?"
I mean, no, there's a definite point where you go, yeah, I mean, OVO is natural for me too, and my head just cut to you sitting after you ate the hottest chip, and you're
Dude, I thought I had to go to the
you're
hospital.
doing like breathing G-force exercises, like you're you're
Thought I had to go
pulling
to the
8 Gs.
hospital.
Yeah, you were sitting there like, no, I can't do it, and you just had Brody's like look of disgust,
He was fucking
like
not.
just
He faked his pain.
he
He
tough.
faked through it.
He tough. You think he faked it?
He faked his way through the pain. He was like, "It doesn't
Uh,
hurt that bad.
uh,
You're motherfucker. You're in pain." Anyways,
yeah, I think he was in pain. But anyway,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is definitely natural for me as well, where it's like, let's just talk about games or something that we find interesting about gaming or like the community or like certain, I would say, subcultures
yeah, in
of
gaming,
gaming.
yeah,
Like, yeah, because we not just before we or like not just after we started the community Discord, but before we had a pretty good cast of characters in the sense of everybody kind of had a different we all overlapped a lot. I mean, we all played shooters, but we had people like Matt who played card games, lame. We had people like you who played older stuff, lame.
you're such
And
a
then you
fucking
had
bitch.
and then you had but then you had, Connor can't play single player games, so we play a lot of, shooters with him or
Yeah,
anything like golf related. Like I love playing anything golf related with Connor because he gets as mad as you do when you play like Quake. Like, it's pretty funny, like,
yeah.
to watch him lose his mind, and then you have people like John who kinda play a mix of everything, and then, yeah, like Elliot, myself, we
Noah,
played and
yeah,
Julian, Noah,
yeah.
like, we played a lot of shooters, hardcore military sim, like,
Lucas will
everything.
play
Yeah,
everything.
Lucas will play anything within reason.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I found out. If you want him to play Overwatch, you gotta get him to have a couple drinks first, but you
Oh
can get
yeah,
him.
like me with Deep Rock, I have to be fucking, and which really irritates our one of like
It irritates John.
but John, see like people like John though for WASD, like John, Noah, Lucas, Julian, and like all of our friends from the BNB, like they helped push the podcast as much as they like don't want to say it. Like they did help us, and they were listening. And Russ, and they
Noah
were
created the logo.
Noah created a logo. Russ had me ship like he bought a T-shirt, spent
Yeah,
$50 in shipping to New Zealand. Like our
yeah.
friends are at the core of the show, and they always have been. Like, and they give us
We've
content to
invited
talk
him
about.
on. We've
Exactly.
invited them on. You had Noah on
John
for
was on.
Dune. John was on, and so was Connor for Star Citizen
Yep.
because it was Connor's first venture into the verse.
His first foyer.
Um, I was gonna say that actually. I was gonna use that word, but I wanted to say venture because I know they always use that when they're doing the marketing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and then that's another thing. We have people who will play early access games, right? Like, I was the first person in the Discord to buy Ready or Not,
Yeah.
which is kind of like Noah, Julian, and Elliot all have it now. And we haven't played it yet together, but I'd love to. It's just kind of hard because we all know how Elliot is when it comes to friendly fire.
Right, right. Yeah. Yo, he's a
You
bitch. I
know,
won't play with him on certain games. Arma,
I hope
Squad,
he
Hell Let
listens to
Loose.
this.
I hope he does too. In Korea, I love you and we miss you very much. By the way, our army friend.
But I hate playing any game where you can shoot me.
No, you're a fucking bitch when it comes to that.
Yeah, like no, but like we had the Milsim stuff, we had the early access stuff, and then we have a lot of shooters, RPGs. We had that little bit where we played or this is an RPG, this is strategy, but Civ, Smite,
Yeah,
um we played COD. I mean, which is hilarious because the whole time we always had shit talked it. We were like, I hate COD, I hate this, I hate
just
this
that
about Call of
fallback
Duty.
game,
And
bro.
then Modern Warfare came out and we all lost our minds.
Having a
We were
blast with
like,
it.
oh my God, this is amazing. We still go back and play it,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, and that's we have these stories because of those moments and because of our friends and because of all the people that we've been meeting in the community Discord as well. We've played Hell Let Loose. They've started playing Squad. I want to join them, but I just uninstalled it. So now I feel like I got to have like a waiting period
Yeah, just give
before I
yourself a bit
can.
of time.
I didn't even play it the entire time I had it installed. Didn't even load it up once, except for like a couple times just to benchmark it.
Yeah,
And then
I
I
get it.
uninstalled it and they're like, let's play Squad. And I was like, I got to wait like a week
But
before
like
I can do that.
with that as well, like we've met, like you said, we met a lot of good people. Like not even just within our community that we have now. Like
Yeah.
where we started. Like we're WASD. Like first couple of people who hopped in to the show really to listen was Diggity Podcast, What the
Oh, yeah.
Famicon,
Absolutely.
the
Yep.
entire Boss Rush people. They were the ones actually like pushing us and like telling people like, hey, check this podcast out, which was really cool of them. Final Boss, I would not have met Eric had it not been for this podcast. And then I would not have
Yeah.
met Chloe, and I wouldn't have met fucking Doc Longy, and
Yeah.
like all these dope ass people that I met. Linko, who he's just a fucking him and his girlfriend are amazing, and David Craddock, and just like all these fucking people that we've gotten to meet because of the show. It's awesome. Like, and we made friends with all of them. It's not just like, hey, welcome to the show. You're on the show. You're off. We made friends with all of these people, and we're able to like kind of go back and forth, which is also very important to us. Is making those connections. Like, it's been really fucking cool, and I
Yeah.
hope we can continue to do this for as long as we can. You know what I mean? Like with all the support we've gotten so far. Um,
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, the first interview I remember it was like probably only a couple times where I'd been on the podcast and you were like, "Hey, I'm doing this interview. You want to like hop on with me?" And it was the Grief Burrito
Grief Burrito.
podcast.
Yeah, dudes from
Yeah,
UK.
and I was like, "Okay." And we did that one with them and that was a blast, right? And then yeah, we met Jeff and Brody and
Right
that's
after that,
been
right?
I think so.
It was like Grief Burrito,
We were on their 200th episode. We were on their
and it got all
200th
fucked up
episode.
because Brody's fucking network at his house was all fucked up. Remember?
I was in Grand Rapids for that. Was that what happened? We talked for like 3 hours. It was
During
you,
that
myself,
episode,
Matt.
yeah, yeah, but during that episode, Brody's like entire internet connection just like died.
Oh, I did, but it was
And
all off of Jeff.
huh?
It all ran from Jeff.
Did it? Yeah, yeah. So we were still able to go,
Yeah,
but like Brody died halfway through, and then like
he
Diggity
came
called
back.
it they called like the WASD curse for a minute because every time we would hop on, something fucked would happen. And we were like,
That's fair, but
we're still new to this. And they've been doing it for like 300 episodes, three
yeah,
something
they're I
now.
think they're past 300 now,
Yeah, like almost
or they
350.
just
I
got
think they're at
there.
like 350. Diggity is at
Jesus.
least. I think so. But like, I mean, that was like right there, like meeting them with you and me and Matt. Because like as much as Matt is a fucking pain in the ass to work with, I love him. And he
Oh
did
my
help
god,
create
I
the show.
can't do it.
What? What?
Can't deal with him.
I love him. I love him to
I
death.
love him,
But
but
boy,
god,
you're
dude.
lazy.
Oh my god, that doesn't even cut. That's not even a word I think that describes him. It's too
He is
nice.
on the show. He is honest. Like, hey, you're playing this game. I'm not gonna finish that game. Okay, moving on.
I mean, come on, come on.
Anyways,
That's not all he does.
but yeah,
Come on.
no, I know. But with Matt, he did help create the show with me, and that was super important. Like that was a cool big step we took together. And fortunately enough, I did want to do the Last of Us episode because I was like, hey, we have to. There's no
I
way.
only talked about it for like 4 months after it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't talk about. I
you and
didn't
I
even
were
talk
on
about
the
the
phone,
episode. I talked about the game.
but you and I
Yeah,
were on the
yeah. I
phone the
had
entire time we were playing Last of Us Part Two.
because you played it ahead of me because I had to wait 4 days
I
because
couldn't
some
help it.
asshat
You were pissed. You were
at
like, "What
Best
the
Buy. Basically, I pre-ordered that Ellie edition, and the general manager of that Best Buy took my pre-order off that box and put his name on it.
yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
That's scumbaggery."
early bird gets the worm, bro. I stayed up till 2 in the morning
I remember when you
to
fucking
get
hit that
that.
pre-order button. You're like, "I got it." And I was like, "Holy shit!"
And then I woke up at 9:45, like, yeah, 15 minutes before Best Buy opened. I got there at 10, walked in, asked, and he was like, "No, no, we don't have it anymore." Worst explanation ever. And I ended up getting it. And then I went out to Grand Rapids 4 days later, played it for 4 days straight, played nothing else,
Yep.
and succeeded.
It's
And
like when
then and
Half-Life Alex came out for me. I mean, I did the same thing for Last of Us Part Two because I did play Last of Us Part One when it had came out.
yeah,
I kind of did the same thing I did for God of War
oh,
Three. When
those
God
were
of
the
War
days. I was so
Three,
young.
oh dude, same. Like when God of War, well, I was like 18 when God of War Three came out, and then
When did that come out?
I don't even want to go back that far.
I was 11. Let's just put it that
I
way.
was 18,
Yeah.
so that's fucked up. But I mean, it's just those humble beginnings, man. It's like those cool little and not to say like just because we hit episode 100, we're a huge podcast. We're by no means a huge podcast. We're still doing our
Oh,
own thing.
absolutely
We're
not.
still having fun. We're doing what we want. That's like why the show, having someone like you with me on the show, was important and integral to the show because we like to take the piss out of shit though. Like we do. Like
Yeah.
it's not one of those shows where I'm like, let's just be cool with these devs. We've always had a pretty strong stance with devs, but like let's be cool. Let's be cool with these creators and let's be cool with these producers because they're these people. Like no, if we don't like you, we don't fucking like you. And that's always been
Right.
important. Like we stand by our shit. Like I'm not going to enjoy you and things that you do because you have a name to you. And you're very much the same way.
I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the like. I'm not like I don't like EA, and I'll make that clear. I play their games. That doesn't mean I like them. Like, it's my fault that I support it.
Because
But
they're
at the end of the
evil.
day, I know that me myself, I'm not gonna break the cycle of Madden or NBA or well,
Right.
NBA is 2K, but FIFA or now F1. It's
Yeah.
dead. They've already failed. Like in my eyes, for the newest one, they've already failed.
You got to
It's already
talk to
bad.
Jeff about that one.
I don't even know.
Like, I don't even know.
No.
But yeah, that's
Uh,
what I've enjoyed about having you. Like as soon as you came on, we because I only thought you were going to be on for the Last of Us episode, and
yeah,
then
no,
more and more and more, like because it was right after that episode, you were just like cool with it, and I was like, cool, I need to have you on, and you're like, yeah,
yeah,
cool, got you, because Matt started to kind of wane off the show. You know, no, you know, it is what it is. But it was one of those things where he was like, yeah, well, I'll be here when I'm here type thing. And it's like, I can't have that. And you're like, well, I'm here. And I was like, all right, tight.
yeah.
It's just been a
I
constant,
mean,
like, Spawn Camp's thing is real people, real opinions. That's what we try to
like,
do.
like, yeah. I mean, we always try to be honest. I mean, because I have a bit of a point with that of like we got to call it where we see it, right? Like just because there's a lot of noise that from one side doesn't mean that side's necessarily correct.
Right. Yeah.
Like when it comes to this thing of video games in the industry and like you have a lot of people that just hate the corporations like EA, and that's totally fine because I'm right there with you. And then there are some where it's like a kind of like, for instance, if I had to put it on scale, right, I hate EA,
Yeah.
but I enjoy Rockstar. But
Right.
Rockstar also isn't just a squeaky clean company either, right? And that goes along with it, where it's like, yeah, I
No, they
recognize that
killed
that
Red
probably
Dead.
seems. They had hashtag Red Dead funeral trending
Funeral.
today.
Man. And they did the funeral, did they not?
Yeah, they did.
Rockstar
They-
killed its own game. Anyways. Thank you, Rockstar.
um, but like that goes along with that whole point of Spawn Camp is we're gonna say what we really think, and that might be hypocritical to some people. It's like, yeah, it might be hypocritical that I enjoy Rockstar's games, and I hate EA, and I hate a lot of EA's games, except I do play F1, and I do play the older Battlefields and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's because you look at it from I look at it from the perspective of, is Rockstar squeaky clean? No, but they also put out quality games in terms of their overall workability. Like, Red Dead came out for the PS4 and it worked. Like, I never experienced a bug through that entire playthrough, right? And
Right.
that goes along with it. I'll be honest. Yeah, they have some predatory business practices when it comes to like GTA Online and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But then I can take that, but I'm not gonna enjoy something like EA where they just completely Battlefield, completely
Anthem.
squander an opportunity. Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda,
Oh my god.
like, yeah, and that goes along with this show, is we're topic based, whereas Diggity is like a sister podcast that's news based, and they're
Yep.
gonna talk about what happened this week. For us, I like that we have this freedom of like, yeah, I mean, some big stuff came out this week, but let's talk about A-rated games.
Right. Well, that's the
But
thing. Like people, it's not to fucking jack us off, but like people do enjoy to hop onto the show to fucking get that off their chest. They like to come and talk shit because that's like I've heard a complaint from that 1-star review. Fuck you still, but that the first 15 minutes is all fucking haha. It is supposed. What do you want me to do? Fucking start the show and go. Let's hop right into it. No, that's fucking bullshit and that's boring. Like we don't want to be every other gaming podcast. That's not what I
that
want to do.
I was gonna say that goes along with it, and with that, it's probably not the real issue. The real issue that that person may have had is, well, it's too long because they spend 15 minutes doing ha-has, you know?
Fuck him.
When really, maybe that point was they just wanted the episodes to be shorter, which is, again, that's their opinion, whatever. But then again, like you just said, our point is, it's not, we're coming on because we want to make this a bit more close. Like,
It's supposed to be intimate to a degree.
yeah, I mean, like I come on, if I'm listening to this, it's like I want to, and I'm gonna listen to it week after week. I kind of want to hear how your day's going,
Right.
or like how your
Exactly.
week's been, or what you've been playing. Right? It's like, especially when you develop some sort of similarity with hosts, like, oh, somebody listening might go like, oh, Evan and I like a lot of the same games. I wonder what he's going to be playing next week, and then they
Right.
tune in to hear what I'm playing, and that's exactly what it's all about, right? Whereas when you just have a show that is very much kind of like holding paper in front of you and just reading from the script about the news this week, you're not really going to have as much of a connection.
Which is not
You're
what
not going to
Diggity
have.
does. That like
No,
we
no,
brought
I'm not
Diggity
even
up, and as
comparing
you
it to
said that,
that.
it's like that's not what they do. They very much are off their own leash as well. They do their own thing, and that's
Oh
why we
yeah, they
love
they
them.
have their own opinions,
But
and
we could never
they
do
definitely
what
get
they
into it.
do. We don't have
Right.
show notes. Everything that you hear from us is just it's in the moment. Like Diggity is in the moment. It is, but they definitely do have their show notes, and that's where they thrive. Whereas WASD and Beyond, it's like we're gonna talk about fucking uh, A-rated games, like you said, and we're gonna go into it, and we that's what I want to do. I want to fucking talk about these things that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Like why do people not want to talk about certain topics in gaming? A perfect example was I was talking to Linko in my interview with him, and he brought up game preservation, and
Mhm.
he had mentioned there's games like Ethnic Cleansing, which is it's not a good game. It's very racist, but it exists. Should you play it? No, but it's still there. So keep it in the ether as a reminder of this does exist, and somebody out there is playing it. Is that a great thing? No, but it exists and it existed. It's like if we just ignored all of that. That's what we just don't do on the show. Like I'm not going to ignore shit like that game, Ethnic Cleansing or Super Columbine RPG, to cater to. That's also a game I did play Super Columbine RPG. I've said
Right.
it.
That'll be the headline.
It plays like Pokemon.
When we get huge, that'll be the headline.
It's
That'll be
it
whenever we
does play
get
like
big,
Pokemon.
it'll be major podcast host Nick said he played Super Columbine
I did. I don't
RPG.
care.
It was
Whatever.
like Pokemon quote.
Oh my god, it plays like
That'll be
Pokemon.
that'll be the end of it.
But
I'm
to
marking it down right here.
to
It's
Linko's
10:09 p.m.
to Linko's point though, it makes sense to not just ignore these things; they do exist. Where that's what WASD will refuse to do, as you've seen on our. That's another thing. politics wise is something that we do try to. You listen to our show to
Oh,
escape,
sorry.
and that is no, you're good. I'm already boring it.
Dude,
People listen to the show to escape, and I understand that. I do the show to escape, but there's inevitability, so like, and that we will not
there
wait,
is
wane on, like waver on. Like we're going to talk about things, right?
there is a point where it kind of comes a bit too close. Like back in the day, probably a lot easier to not compare Gears of War to anything in the current day.
Right,
But
right.
as times have changed, so have games, and games have a lot more to say as well. And I think that's important. I think there's a lot of Cyberpunk would be the best example in this case as of right now, just because it's more close in terms of
It's showing a dystopian type of thing that's happening.
well, and it's through the dialogue or it's through the actions or it's through the billboards or it's through the atmosphere of the game, right?
Yeah,
Everything's very sexualized and it's showing this thing of corporations kind of doing whatever they can to get your next buck.
yeah.
And that's not too far off from what we deal with now.
Oh,
But
absolutely not.
yet everybody says, well, politics aren't in games. It's like they've always been, just like politics has been in music and
Look at Six
movies
Days of
and
Fallujah.
TV. Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge political game, right? You have and then you have games that aren't, but also deal with maybe political topics. Like
Postal.
war inherently is a political topic, but
Any
yet
game
you
dealing
have
with
games
war,
like
yes.
Arma, you have games like Arma Squad, and they just are their games are they don't have anything related to it. It's just it's a fiction. It could be a fictional place. Like certainly they have real world maps, but at the end of the day, it's fiction. There's no real world implications that are brought up
GTA
into it.
delves into politics.
Absolutely, it does.
Especially, I would say GTA 4 with immigration.
And GTA 5. GTA
Yes,
5 does a
absolutely,
great job
absolutely.
of showing the corruption between like the FBI and the CIA, even though
Yeah,
obviously they're different in the game. But like, yeah, I mean that's a huge example, right? There's literally an entire section of the game where you are helping the FIB like steal from
yeah,
the ICA or IAC or whatever they are, you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? But like that's a whole thing, and they even make that comment where one of the FIB guys says like, "Yeah, we're just not as corrupt," and all three main characters kind of do the see no evil, hear no evil kind of thing. Like they
Yeah.
just kind of pretend it doesn't exist, and it's like that's clearly a political topic. Like politics are in games, and games are in politics. I mean, look at GTA
Last of
as
Us,
a great example.
Last of Us as well.
Well, I mean, I thought more of that in the sense of GTA being, like, on the news because of the torture scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You know, they're
inevitable.
like
It's inevitable.
or a great example from your library of games, Manhunt. That was a
Absolutely.
political game.
Oh, that
Like,
was
I
one of the
mean,
most
inherently.
violent. Looking back, like you can look back and be like, that's so silly to like. It's still a violent game. It's still very
It's silly
gruesome.
to get upset about
It's still
in
a
the sense
game.
of what
Like,
we see now.
well, like at Rockstar, when they made the game, a lot of the developers were like, it made us feel. One of them said literally icky to
Yeah,
create the game because it was just a game based around violence, senseless violence. So,
and that's
but
yeah,
but it
like
was
you said.
showing how violence is so normalized. That's what Manhunt did well. It was like, hey, we're desensitized, right? Well, let's see how desensitized we are with having you be the monster. Which I mean,
That's
it
not
it
out of the blue.
works. It worked though. But like for to hear people say, well, like WASD shouldn't do this. We've had people tell us on our socials before, like, cut the shit, talk about this, talk about games. It's like, no, no, this
Which
matters.
I don't agree with anybody who thinks that. The same people who are like, "Well, he's an actor. He shouldn't have opinions about politics." Like, well, so what? He's not a person now, or
Just
she's not a
shut up and
person now.
dribble. Remember? Shut up and
Yeah,
dribble.
yeah.
Fuck you.
Even now, like, because I've been paying more attention to the F1 season this year, you see so many people on Twitter lose their minds when somebody has an opinion. They're like, "He should stick to driving." It's like,
He's a
he's a
human
person
being.
too, bro.
Human
Yeah,
being.
like
Just like
what?
us.
Let me ask ask that person a question. It's like, what do you do? Oh, I do software development. Oh, well, you should stick to that. Think of how stupid that sounds
It
to
all
say to
sounds
another
stupid in the
person.
grand scheme. But again, with WASD, we refuse to do that. Like, I'm not going to not talk about certain things, especially if it's in a real world situation where,
Well, and it's so huge, it's kind of hard to ignore,
and we've
right?
never
Like,
done that. And that's another thing I've just loved about like you and I, like a little bit behind the scenes. Like something will happen in the world that will disgust Evan and myself, and it's like, hey, like I understand it's just a post, Evan. how do you feel about me bringing some awareness to it? Or Evan will be like, hey, you should really post about this today. Bring mention to
Or
it.
I said, "Hey, should we maybe not do an episode this week?"
Exactly.
Because of this thing that happened,
If something
you know?
catastrophic is happening and it shook the world, it just feels wrong. It felt wrong. I remember it was during the murder of George Floyd when you and I went,
Yeah,
hey, I don't think this week is a time anybody needs to hear
yeah.
us. And that made sense
No,
and it was
yeah.
important to us. But that's one of the things about
Well,
this show that I've always loved.
yeah, and I've enjoyed that too, and I've enjoyed that kind of I enjoy having that voice with you and on my own of being able to be like, "Well, here's what I really think about this," and, like, to really get my thoughts out onto the table and be like, here's how I feel, whether it's related in terms of politics, because we have had extended conversations sometimes about political things.
Up
I mean,
to a
the
half hour
adult
long.
games things, yeah, up to the game stuff, like the A-rated game stuff, like that was inherently a political thing, right? In the essence of it was just we don't want that to be shown, and it's like, but think of all the other things you allowed to be shown. You
Exactly.
know, I mean, look at the boys. Oh my god, that's cool,
Which
but
season
like,
our season 3 wrap up is coming soon, by the way.
yes,
We were blown away.
but like, and I enjoy having that voice of being like, yeah, no, let me talk about this game or this franchise or this topic, whatever, and like I like to be able to share my thoughts and hopefully know that somebody else is listening and might even agree, and I welcome even more the people who disagree respectfully, like,
We're always down to talk, even if you disagree with what we have to say. That again, it goes back to the type of show we are. We want to. I don't want to have a guest on or talk to somebody who's just gonna fucking yes man us.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't want that. Like on the show, I want to have those heated talks. Brody, Evan, and myself, and even Jeff, behind the scenes,
Oh my god, dude.
we have argued. We have gotten into like creative differences multiple times. But the
Yeah, no, these
thing
people are
is,
crazy.
we love and support that. That's the thing. Going back to the community, going back to the friends, and like we support and love each other, and we make it work, and we get through it, and it's it's just wonderful, man. 100 episodes in, Evan and
We've
I have
done
had
it.
our disagreements.
What
You and I have had our disagreements. But the thing is, though, behind the scenes, we
do you
talk
mean
every day.
disagreements?
I said disagreements. Disagreements. Yes.
Oh
I
my
don't.
god.
You know what? Me not drinking every day during the week and having a glass of whiskey, no good.
Yeah, I thought about that when you said it, and I was like, probably not the best idea. And
I haven't drank for 2 weeks.
yeah, well, great. I'm sure Saturday will be a real short stream, everybody.
Just, dude. Listen, listen. Hold me to it. If I get too drunk and I pass out, nobody better cut that stream because Brody can cut the stream. Don't cut it.
All right, that'll be the thing. I
Just
will
me
check
sleeping
in.
head first on my desk.
If I check into the stream when I'm at the reception or whatever, and I'm looking at you, and I just see you like slumped over in your chair, dude, I'm screen capping that, and
That
that's
would
like
make
gonna
for
be my home screen.
such a funny 100th episode. Obviously, this is
Yeah,
like the 100th episode, but like Saturday is definitely going to be it. I'm like,
Saturday's the bigger thing.
there's a lot of
Like,
cool shit going on though. Like, there is somebody. We'll tease a little bit right now. Too. I got an interview coming up with Eric from Final Boss. We're gonna be talking
yeah,
about the Steam Deck. Check that off your bingo card, please. Um, Eric and I are going to be
nice.
talking about the Steam Deck. We're going to talk about Final Boss. We're going to talk about just gaming in general. It's going to be fucking amazing. I got a bunch of actual. I have presents for Eric over in that corner, ready to go out. And Doc Longy wants to hop onto the fucking show too, by the way.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know you
So,
told me.
Doc wants to hop on eventually. Um, Evan and myself, or if I think you'll be on this show
Yeah,
for the big interview we got planned, the
yeah.
August interview. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. No, I forgot because we have interviews planned out to August naturally. Yes, I know who you're talking about. This guy.
We we are planning if it works in the favor it should, which we are in correspondence with people we need to be, there's an interview supposed to happen with somebody that will make me cry. It's not Gabe Newell before anyone says Gabe Newell. If it was Gabe Newell,
Everybody, if they know you thought Gabe
they
knew him,
thought, dude, that is my goal. That one day just have Gabe Newell pop up on the show and just be like, hey. I'm like,
that's the day I
that's what he would say.
quit.
You know, if Gabe Newell, he'd be like, hey.
Hey,
I'd be like,
how
oh.
you doing?
That's all I needed. I'd be like, and the recording is done.
I'd be like, dude, let me ask you some questions, Gabe. I got a
Where
lot of
is it?
issues here.
Like, where's what? I'd be
Where?
like, where is it?
That's why
Evan,
he doesn't hop on
where
anything.
is it?
Yeah, that'll get him. He'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's
3?
like, you
He'll be
said the
yeah,
thing. Has
he'll
confirmed.
be he'll be pointing at it like, what number is that?
Oh my!
Like he has no idea
I'd
what it
choke
is.
through my fucking screen. I
That'd be
know Evan
funny.
and myself want to do a bit more movie stuff too, because
Yeah.
we are also big movie guys. There was at one point talks between you and I were like, we should do a movie podcast. I was like, oh man, that's so
Yeah.
much. I was like, that's so much. But we can just wrap it in WASD and beyond. Like, so we're gonna be talking
Can't
about
even say the his own
movies.
episode or his own show name. Dude's
What?
losing it.
Oh, dude.
You can't even say your own show.
So more movie discussions between Evan and myself. Evan is the what kind of movie buff would you be?
Figure it out because I swear if it's wrong,
No, Evan.
I know it.
No, you are
I know what I am.
more of a like
I know the villain
cinema
I
buff.
am.
You are more of a cinema buff, and like,
Oh, there's the word.
well, you are
What are
like
you, what are you
Evan
trying to
can
say?
you'll take in like actual cinema. And we're not talking about Marvel movies where I can watch like cinema
He just he
like
just said it.
Scorsese, Evan's
He said it.
Scorsese, Tarantino type of guy. But you will fucking watch Marvel. You'll watch
Christopher
DC.
Nolan. Come on,
You'll
don't
watch
forget
all that
the
shit. So like
legend.
expect some more movie reviews, anime
TV,
stuff,
hopefully.
TV, anime from like I know John will talk anime with me. Copley, any of the
Yeah,
Build
I'm out.
Bros. Expect you're out. More Build Bros to hop on. More Diggity WSD crossovers. There's a lot to expect. More live streams. There will. I know Evan and I myself want to stream more, so you can expect some of that.
Yeah,
Is there anything that you
definitely.
think we should do, Evan, that you would like to see happen on the show?
Well, I think we should make Nick do the milk crate challenge. Um,
That is 2 months late, buddy.
no, I mean it'll be even more popular now because it's dead. They'll be
So
like, "Oh
true.
my god, look at this guy."
That is so true.
We'll watch you fall onto your not good fire pit. I don't know
Oh,
the right
fuck
term
you.
for that. That's an
You
old
ready
one.
to wrap this bitch up if you ain't got nothing to say?
I mean, I do. I'm just trying to think of a lot of the things I want to do on this show. Usually, kind of involve some sort of jackass amount of pain to you. So yeah, I
Take
don't
that
know.
for what you
I'm
will.
just kind of a villain. Like I really don't care. I kind of want to make you eat like 2 hot chips.
I don't want to do that ever
Like
again. I
I'll
told you I'm
pay
not doing
you.
the chip challenge again.
I'll pay you $25 for each one.
I have 45 cents in my bank account right now.
So you would take the 50?
I would, because I got
Yeah,
out of
there
the
you go.
negative. My bank actually helped me out. I don't want to go into that, but I got 45 cents in my account right now.
He already revealed his balance.
45
It's
cents.
all over.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
man.
that
Just
$50 really would come in handy.
it would. I would be able to
Looks like I have to
put that
get
into a
you some of those
FanDuel
chips.
slots again. What?
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 Oh man, I think we should wrap up before he gets in any more trouble
Yes.
with the family.
No, for real though, guys. Thank you for helping us get to episode
Yes.
100. It's been awesome. I honestly didn't even think about episode 100 until a couple days ago. I was like, holy shit, we're at
Yeah.
episode 100, and we want to do something. This is only going to be a 25-minute episode, and we're at 45 minutes. But
Yeah.
without the community, without like meeting all of our friends again, Linko, AOB, Final Boss Crew, Boss Rush, Diggity Podcast, Build Bros, fucking anybody, David Craddock from
Yeah.
FPS documentary, all these people that we've been able to meet, Doc Longy, like
Yeah.
all these people
Yeah.
we've gotten to meet,
Everybody.
and the community we've built with Diggity and Build Bros. Spawn Camp has been pushing us, and prior to Spawn Camp, everybody else pushed us, and it's been a great uphill battle. It has been an uphill battle. It's been a pain
Yeah.
in the ass. It's been a labor of love, but it's just been really fucking fun doing this. And I hope we can do this again at episode 200. And I don't think episode 200 will take us 3 years. I really don't.
No, probably
It
not.
shouldn't take us 3 years to get to episode 200. So,
No.
but yeah, man, thank you all for helping us get to this point. We will see you guys on
Yes, thank you.
Saturday during the live stream.
Yes.
Again, thanks to our sponsors, Final Boss, Doc Longy. Thanks to the entire Spawn Camp community. That's us, Diggity Podcast, and the Build Bros. Soon to be OBO again. Evan, is there anything else
Yes.
you want to say before we wrapped up episode 100.5?
I just wanted to say, I mean, kind of what you said, right? Thank you to everybody who listens and continue to listens, and anybody who listens to this is like their first episode. Welcome. We hope you stay and enjoy me taking the piss out of Nick while he tries to explain a topic that he knows nothing about.
Such a jerk off, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, no, thank you for listening. I mean, that's all I'd ever ask. Just listen to me talk nonsense. That's all I need. I just need people to listen to me.
Yeah, listen
Like,
to us, please.
yes.
I need your attention.
Um, yeah, I need your attention. I need you to listen to me and tell me that I'm doing a good job. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well, we will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream. Evan, you will be joining me later in the night, correct? So everyone, we can
Y-
kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I will let you know when I have a better idea of when I'll be home. But yeah, I will be joining later in the day for sure.
So I'll be streaming the entire day, pretty much, with a couple breaks in between. A 2-hour break at 10 p.m. So Evan, I'm sure you'll take over from there until I
I'll
come
take
back.
over from there. Yep.
So 10 p.m. I'll be taking a break to watch DCFC play. Come back, we will drink more, we'll play more, we'll just chat with our entire community. Hop into the server, ask us some questions. Let's get that Q&A popping. It's already popping with some great questions. Let's
Yeah,
just keep going. Let's have a blast.
definitely want to hear what you guys want to ask us, please. I would love to get answer questions from the audience. It's
There's
like my dream.
there's a couple of mean questions towards me already. There's
It's only been up for like an hour.
it's an hour. People are like, "Hey, stupid." Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, we will see you guys tomorrow for the stream. Till then,
Yep.
take it easy. Thank you guys very fucking much. And again, hop into the Spawn Camp server. Let's have a blast. See you
Yep.
guys at
Have a great
episode
weekend.
200. Take it
See
easy.
ya.